Hello, paranormal peeps. I'm your host, Charlie, alongside with my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Colton.
It's Diego.
And today we're going to be talking about the land between the lakes and what occurred there, when it happened. So do you guys know anything, behind this incident or any background knowledge?
Just a tiny bit. I know like surface level stuff.
Literally never heard of it until like right now.
Good. And no, Colton, it's not the butter.
I know. Let me write that down real quick.
So let me start off with the location here. The location of this incident, of course, I don't mean to sound, insensitive or rude, but it happened in Kentucky. So it happened in the Land Between the Lakes National Recreational Area, which is inside of the national park. Mm-hmm. So let me give you some background on the location itself. In the late 1960s, President John F. Kennedy decided to turn he in other words designated this piece of property into a sort of safe haven underneath the national parks branch. So, fun fact: it's located between Lake Barkley and Kentucky Lake. So it's
hence the name.
Yeah. Yeah. So the name is pretty apparent there, and it has an area of 267.6 square miles, or
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's
for
really
our ranchers out there, 171,280 acres.
Ooh,
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of acres.
That's a lot of acres. So so as you can sort of deduce, this place is a forest. It's very densely populated with trees and woods. It's, of course, you would imagine animals would be there.
As most are.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they're definitely always there.
It's a national park, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this place is a well-known hotspot for tourists in the area. So they usually have a lot of revenue coming from the tourism section. Of course, since it's a national park, it has that. So is there any before we get into the alleged report, is there any questions you have about this location?
There are like cabins there? Anything like camping grounds?
Inside the national parks, the national park, there is camping grounds. But as for cabins, there are none inside of a premises. But outside the surrounding area, there are cabins.
Oh, okay.
So it's tourism just because it's like a nature spot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a reason why.
Okay.
All right.
So that's all the questions I have from you two right now.
I guess just some starting information. When is this incident we're talking about?
Allegedly, so this is where it gets kind of depending from which researcher is giving you the information, but just to like average it out, it's late 1970s, early 1980s.
Oh, okay. Very interesting.
So it happened a lot more recently than you would imagine it happened.
Yeah.
So like 30, 40
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
maybe like top 50 maybe 50 years ago.
That's pushing it, I would think. I don't know. We're getting old.
Yeah.
We're getting old. So it happened around, I believe it was during the summer, which is why, it's camping. Okay, so this, so let me get right into the alleged report. The original secondhand story came from a person, an encounter, sorry, came from a person named Jan Thompson. She was working at a diner when she had overheard two state police talking about an incident that they had they were first in the scene at. And so she overheard them and she started asking them questions. And at first they were reluctant to give out information regarding the case, but eventually they spilled everything they had to spill. Apparently, these two cops they had been working a full 24 hours.
Oof.
So they were just getting, to their not their breaking point, but to like
Their limit.
they had
Yeah.
they were getting to their limit. So so she was told somewhere in the 1980s, a young couple had been walking around. They were looking for a restroom or just looking around, and they had come across this campsite. It was the way it was set up is it was a campsite, and near the left hand side there was a camper. One of those old time campers, the silver ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The retro looking ones.
Yeah.
It was one of those campers, and but the couple had noticed that there were stuff scattered all over the place, and that there was blood on the floor, and that the camper was really distraught. There were stuff lying all over the place, and they were like, oh no, something happened here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to book it out of there and call the cops. And back in the 80s, you didn't have cell phones, so they had to literally go to the ranger station and report it. And that's where these two state troopers come in. It's two state cops, that's where they come in. And they went ahead and they tried to they tried asking the witnesses what they had seen, and they were trying to describe it, but the witnesses, they refused to go back to the campsite. They didn't want to go back to see everything they had seen. They were more or less shocked at what had occurred there, and they were really reluctant on going back. So they just gave these cops instructions how to get back to the location. So the cops followed the location, the steps, and they found it, and they started examining the area. Now, according to the responding officers, first they had found the father. He was outside of the camping area, not the camping area, but outside the RV, and he was lying on his front side, and there were deep scratches on his back. And according to the information, the cops first thought it was a mountain lion attack, because black bears aren't native to Kentucky, to that area of Kentucky, so they kind of ruled that out. And he thought, oh, this must have been a mountain lion attack. And the police had seen that the man was clutching a fur in his hands.
Oh. What kind of fur?
So here's the thing. Since this is the 80s, there weren't that many well-known records of there wasn't a huge database.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was still in its smaller primitive version.
It was like barely getting started.
Yeah.
Okay. So they weren't entirely sure what kind of fur it was?
Yeah, we couldn't determine what was the type of fur. It was dark fur that it was inside of his fingernails, and he had ripped out a chunk as if he were fighting whatever it was that attacked him. And so he was the first one that they found. They soon started looking around further, and inside of the camper they had found the mother and the son. The son had died in the camper almost immediately, according to the story. Not much information is given to how it was, how he was when they found him. But the mother, surprisingly, to my knowledge, was actually there was enough evidence to assume that she was fighting back against whatever it was that was attacking the camper. So she had bite marks everywhere, scratch marks everywhere. There were, I think it was a pan or something that they had that she had tried to use against it. Yeah. So
can I ask how old were they? Like the family?
So the reported age range for the family. Let's start with the father. The father was in his early 30s. We assume. Same thing with the mother. The son is let me check here. The son was about maybe like 10 or 11, somewhere around there.
Ooh.
So about to get into his teens.
Ooh, that's bad.
That's sad.
Yeah, and it was a very gruesome sight inside of a camper. So of course they were like, "Yo, this is getting pretty bad. Let's go ahead and call in some officials." So they went ahead and they notified the forest rangers, and they also notified the rest of their department. Here's the sketchy bit. So after they reported the travesty, men in suits started showing up.
Wow.
And
Interesting.
so at first it was the local PD. The local PD got in touch with the state police department. We were like, okay, we I guess we kind of know what's going on here. And soon after, they said, well, help us, with the crime scene. Since you were the first responding officers, you got a lot of paperwork to fill out. So you stay here and try and do what you need to do. And after a while, they started seeing these black cars start getting in, and they noticed men in suits. And that's what's kind of crazy about this whole situation, because you would assume the men in suits were detectives, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, maybe.
If I never heard
about
anything,
like the Men in Black. Or
I would be like, oh,
that.
they're like detectives, like professionals to like figure out this whole thing.
Right? You would assume. But they didn't recognize them as detectives in their department. And they were like, well, that's kind of strange. Why do we need detectives from another department if we got detectives in our department? They were astonished on that. And another thing that I would like to note is that the men in suits had brought their own coroners.
Oh, very interesting.
So they didn't use any of the state police coroners or the coroners at the department.
Just to make sure I'm right, coroners are what identify like bodies and what happened to them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they didn't recognize any of these medical examiners or potential homicide detectives. So later it was deduced that the family actually consisted of a father, a mother, a son, and a daughter.
And since there wasn't the daughter wasn't on the scene, of course.
Yes, the daughter wasn't present at the scene. The only reason they found out that there was a little girl, involved in this horrific tragedy was clothes. The clothing that they had found inside of a camper.
Oh.
So they had, they were, oh wow, we got a survivor. Maybe we can get somebody to tell us what happened, or at least try and give us some insight as to what happened. Because right now it seems kind of weird that a mountain lion would not only attack one person, okay, but to actually, physically kick down the door of a trailer and attack the occupants of that trailer. That seems far-fetched.
Yeah, that's when you start doubting it. Like, can a mountain lion really do that? No, of course not.
I would imagine if a mountain lion was to attack a structure like that, it would just like try and claw
At
the
like the
outside,
door.
or like where it thinks the people are at. I see no real
but
reason
then
of
again,
it, like, busting it in.
I'm pretty sure mountain lions are afraid of like bigger groups. They wouldn't just attack 3 people.
That is true.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that a mountain lion could do, but sometimes animals act outside of a norm. So
Yeah.
so we can never like truly rule it out, but that's what they had assumed at first. So any other questions from you guys right now before I continue?
I'm not really, knowledgeable about how they identify bodies on the scene. It seems pretty suspicious that they would have the coroners do it like right away on like the area. So I think that's more like What are they doing? Unless they do that, and I'm just wrong.
I mean, so for when it comes to procedure like that, Colton, it's usually when it comes to medical examiners, they do go on the scene, but it's usually quick. They just identify what could have happened and then they go back.
Yeah, unless there was someone alive,
Yeah.
of course. But since there was no one alive at the scene, they don't really have much to do.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna continue where we left off. So they had hope that there was gonna be a survivor. So they started to they let the other officers at the crime scene present. They let them know that there was possibly a survivor, and they started a small search and rescue group, consisting of the people present. And this is where it kind of gets horror movie cliche, and I don't know if I buy it. Apparently, a deputy was walking around looking for a body, not a body, but before the survivor.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I wonder where this could be, when he starts feeling a drip on his hat.
Oh no.
And he's like, oh, it's not raining. So he takes off his hat and he looks at it. He's like, and then he starts looking up, and he sees the body of a little girl missing an arm.
Oh.
Drag up the tree.
Oh,
that's. Are we allowed to curse?
I mean, you guys have done it before.
Because that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, that. I don't know what to say. That sucks.
That's terrible.
It is.
See, but this is where things start getting muddy, really muddy, because depending on which researcher you get this story from, you get the little girl was indeed present during the during the events. To the complete opposite, there was never a little girl to begin with.
Well, technically, she was present. She just no one could find her. She was up in a tree.
That's not what I mean.
Like there was no evidence that there was a little girl, right?
Oh,
but, yeah.
No clothes, anything.
No
that's
clothes,
what
and they just added on the little girl afterwards.
That does sound like something that would happen.
Yeah, because like you said, it does sound really horror movie cliche. Like a blood dripping on deputy's hat, looking up. Oh, there's a little girl in the tree missing an arm.
And I know we just started talking about like what happened to them, but that doesn't sound like what happened to the other, I guess, victims. Like they didn't get taken up to a tree, or they didn't get like limbs removed. They just got scratched and bitten, right?
I mean, you gotta remember this too, Colton. This is going off of my personal memory and whatever notes I have written down in my cell phone.
True.
So there could be a lot of things that I'm missing out entirely, but I know the broad strokes of the story, and I feel I can try and tell it to the best of my ability. And of course, if any of you can correct me in the comments, please do so. Please be nice about it. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Luckily, everyone's been really nice in the comments so far.
Really nice.
Thank you, everyone, for the support. It's crazy how supportive you've been.
Real crazy. We don't believe it. We can't believe it.
We won't believe it.
No, but yeah. So where were we again?
You just finished talking about the quote unquote little girl in the tree.
Right. So after that, that's when word started to get around that they had found the daughter, the missing daughter, and that's when the officers on hand were dismissed.
Oh.
They were dismissed from the case since they had found all the all the missing people from the trailer. So they were dismissed, and that's where they sat, and that's how they sat at the diner, because they had just gotten off the case.
That's very interesting. So if it wasn't for this waitress overhearing, we would have no idea that this probably happened.
Correct.
Because it sounds to me like it would have been a cover-up.
That's not, believe it or not, we're not even close to the real meat and potatoes of the story.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
This is, encounter, I guess you could say. I don't want to say story because that implies fake.
No, not really. But whatever. Just keep going.
Yeah, so that's where the actual, land between the lakes encounter happened. Now, before we get into the other stuff, there's a couple theories onto why this occurred. Okay, and so I'm gonna go ahead and not list them, but I'm gonna tell you one by one, which what these perhaps motives were for whatever attacked them that night. First, we're gonna start off with Cologne. So
Cologne. Okay.
So first, so it was the 80s, and of course none of us were around to know this, but we, our parents can tell us stuff. Apparently cologne and perfume, people used to overuse it like hell. I mean, even now sometimes people overuse it.
Well, cologne and perfume is made with deer musk. So big cats love cologne.
See,
and
that's
perfume.
what I was gonna get to.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, they were made with actual deer musk and other types of animal musk, and many people theorize that perhaps that's what attracted whatever, attacked and killed the family. Personally, what do you guys think of that so far?
I mean, so far that makes sense. I wouldn't say that's the most plausible, but I could see that happening at some point.
Yeah, kind of. It's still a little far-fetched because big cat attacks whole family, girl in the tree with her arm ripped off.
Plus, we already said that a mountain lion would not be able to bust down the door like that. In most cases, I would imagine.
Unless you got a bipedal walking mountain
Unless
lion.
something threw the mountain lion.
Yeah.
But no. So that's number one. That's our first theory. Our second theory, when it comes to why it attacked the family, it's very simple. It's one of the things that come to mind when you think of the state of alpha, when it comes to being the head honcho of whatever area you're in. Some reports say that the man had maybe urinated in the area, and perhaps he had a very strong scent of chlorine in his urine. Whatever was living in the area saw it as a challenge to, hey, this guy's trying to claim my area.
Yeah.
Let's teach him a lesson. This is my area.
Is that how that works? Like, if it has very high chlorine, the animals are like, oh, this guy's marking it?
I believe that's how it works.
Huh. Very interesting. I learned something new today. I had no idea.
Yeah, no, that's our second theory, which to me sounds more plausible than the
Yeah,
perfume.
yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, that... Actually, no, never mind. Yeah. That does make more sense. I was about to say something stupid.
Yeah, when don't you say something stupid?
You have a point there.
Yeah, no, but that's the second reason. But the third one sort of relates with the whole urine thing, but not really. The whole territory thing is itself as in territory. It was just saying that, hey, it's my land, not yours.
Yeah.
Just a basic hey, this is my land, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Without the whole urine thing. It just noticed that it was on whatever it is land, and it was like, no, not having you here. Leave.
I'm gonna put a crazy theory out there. If I can ask, what shape was the moon? Because for some reason I'm thinking werewolf. I don't know why.
We're gonna get to that later.
Okay. I assume that's gonna be in the meat and potatoes.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Pre-meat and potatoes.
Oh, the preheating the oven.
And before, there's something I had missed that I just noticed in my notes. So allegedly, after a while, the park was closed after the incident for a little bit because of military exercises.
Okay.
They do like to do their exercises.
Air quotations.
A lot of air quotations on that one.
Like 3.
Seems pretty sus. Might be Among Us.
Oh my god. All right, just keep
You
going.
just had to say
Ignore that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. This has to be a fun podcast.
Yeah, fun, not cringe.
Okay. Yeah, no, but that was something that, is said to have happened after the murders occurred, which seems, it kind of implies that, the military was maybe sent to contain, capture, or eliminate whatever was in those woods.
Yeah.
And it would make sense since there were no other, official accounts of this particular whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to go ahead and before we get into the other stories from Land Between the Lakes, which actually occur in the same area, like dead on the same area. We're going to go into the possible culprits.
Ooh.
So, as to what Colton was alluding to before, some researchers believe it was a werewolf, which is, to me, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because of a multitude of reasons. Now, when I say werewolf, I don't mean the cryptid known as the Dogman.
Yeah, no. Like
when I say
completely
werewolf,
unrelated.
like the transformation type
yes,
one.
from human to wolf to man wolf.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say werewolf. However, I the evidence for that doesn't clump up together. The next one is actually a dogman. Now, this one to me sounds very plausible because in the folklore around the area actually depicts dogmen. It's usually type 3 variants, which are the very aggressive ones.
The big boys?
Yeah, the very aggressive big boys.
Okay,
the
yeah.
soldier types.
Oh, yeah, those, yeah.
Angry.
They very, very angry.
Yeah.
They have like
Anger
issues.
issues.
It's roid rage all
Oh,
the time.
God.
Yeah, no, it's but the evidence that points to this is the amount of strength that it needs to push the door in, like to cave it in, that it did.
Well, I mean, humans can kick a door in as well.
Yeah. Can I ask about the door? Was it like caved in, like completely, like off the hinge and just kind of shoved off?
Or was it like just kicked in,
Like kicked in, like no like crumple area of it.
No, there was see that's what I mean when it says depending on which researcher is giving us the information.
All right.
But it was like forced in, right?
It was 4th century, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
all right.
now, and the other thing that points to this are the claw marks and the scratch marks that were indicated on the whole family. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Yes, they were indeed canine.
I was gonna
marks.
say if there were any scratch marks around like the campers or like the trees or anything else.
Based off of my memory and my notes, I don't remember, and yeah.
Okay.
Based on my notes, I don't remember.
Yeah, based on my notes and my memory, I don't remember. But I would have remembered something like that.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very
because
big
I'm
detail.
very
Because that was very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I know you're trying to allude to the fact of a bear.
Oh, no, I was just wondering if there are like scratch marks anywhere else other than the victims.
if you think of it, a bear is strong enough to kick in a door or like push it in, and then the claw marks.
I mean, listen, Diego. Even if we were to put the most dangerous bear, whether that be the polar bear or the grizzly bear,
Polar bears are pretty dangerous.
you would have not only the huge paw prints that they leave.
You're right.
You would have other indications as them messing around with the groceries inside of a cabin, and other what, Colton?
No, I agree. You do have a point. Because, forgive me if my geography's gone. Isn't that whole area kind of like swampy? So it would be kind of like
It's marshy.
it's marsh. That's what I mean. You could leave, I guess, paw prints very easily, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, depending on how the weather was. Remember, we're guesstimating that it happened in the summer.
Yeah.
So, actually, you know what? What's another theory that I had forgotten about until now?
Which one?
the theory that it was, since it occurred during the summer, maybe this creature was very overwhelmed by the heat, and it got kind of like manic crazed because of it.
Oh, it got like heat sickness.
Yeah, like heat stroke or something, and it caused it to get even more aggressive than it already was.
When was this incident supposed to take place? Night?
See, that's what we don't know, Colton, because remember they stumbled across.
Oh yeah.
They stumbled across
But
this massive.
When did the waitress hear about it?
It was like I said, the cops had been pulling. They had just finished their 24-hour shift, so it was around maybe 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay.
But
Since this was
then
an
again,
all-nighter.
forensics teams do let you know like how long someone's been dead.
See, this is the thing. You just said it yourself. Forensics haven't been around as long as they haven't been as efficient as we are now.
Yeah, but you can pretty easily tell how long a body's been dead.
I mean, not only that, but you have to acknowledge that these cops weren't just lying around willy nilly. So
Yeah.
they were the first ones on the scene, so they have to fill out a bunch of paperwork. They can't be around the corner saying, "Oh, around what time?"
Yeah, they can't do the typical movie things like, "Oh, what do you think happened here?" and then exposition.
Yeah, no, since they were first on the scene, they had to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and even if they had overheard it, they were probably too busy concentrating on what they needed to do. So the whole idea of what time it happened, we really don't know. But one thing that we do know happened is that when they had reported it, it was around maybe 5 or 6 in the afternoon when the first couple reported the site.
Okay. Yeah.
So it could have either have been earlier that day, or maybe even the night before.
I would imagine probably not the night before, because that would smell awful. It takes like 6 hours for a body to just start to smell awful. So or like 6 to 10 hours, depending. So I would imagine that's the time frame between the couples finding them and the victims being, I guess, killed.
I would say it was definitely that afternoon.
Yeah. Or like definitely not the day before, but like that same day.
That same day, yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's as far as I know. So that's just another thing that I had decided to say. So let's go back to the possible culprits. We already pointed out the dogman, but besides the besides the claw marks and the canine bites, there were also the fact that it was able to drag something up the
tree.
The tree. That does say mountain lion, does it not?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the mountain lions, they don't just like take one part and just like dip.
Yeah, they put that on the tree for a while.
Yeah, I also wanted to point out, going back a little bit, when we were talking about bears, the only bears native to that area are black bears, and here in the United States, that's the most docile type of bear. What?
Really? I thought they were one of the most aggressive.
That's a grizzly brown bear.
Yeah.
It's Kodiak bear, yeah.
Black bears are
okay.
kind of cute.
Yeah, the black bear, they're like really tiny.
They're very round.
Yeah.
Oh, those bears?
Yeah. You can
Oh,
push
okay,
them,
okay,
roll
yeah.
over.
Yeah, but those are the ones that are native to those parts.
Oh, okay.
They don't. They're very docile, like I said, but those are the only ones that are native to that area. So we have the dogman as a culprit. See, now this is kind of funny, because as I mentioned before, this land is cut in between 2 lakes. You got the Lake Kentucky, and Lake
Barkley.
Ah,
I remembered.
You did. I'm proud.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Lake Barkley. So on one side you have Lake Barkley, which is said to house dogmen. The other side of the land you have Lake Kentucky, and that side is said to have Bigfoot in them. Very rarely do you ever see a dogman near the Lake Barkley area, and a Bigfoot in the Lake Kentucky area.
Mm-hmm.
We're like water and oil. We don't mix.
National enemies.
Not national, but more like natural.
Kill on sight. It's the Bigfoot code.
Yeah, no, but that's something I wanted to point out, because as we go into the next possible culprit, it's Bigfoot, which in that area is also said to be aggressive, but not that aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They're compared to our classic, patty type Bigfoot, which is like the 8 to 9 foot tall, huge Bigfoots. These guys are a lot more smaller. And, I'm not saying that area only has small Bigfoots.
Yeah, they're more common there.
But the height of a Bigfoot is a lot more likely to be smaller than, 8 to 9 foot that, Californians report.
Mm-hmm.
But they're said to be a lot more, I don't want to say scrawnier, but they have more of they have a smaller build.
They're definitely on the smaller side.
Yeah.
They're built different.
So, yeah, you really had to make that joke. Yeah, no, but that's how we describe them in that area. The couple of things that kind of stand out to me is that Sasquatch, they don't like to be that aggressive towards humans. When it comes to Sasquatch encounters, they're usually like it's usually scare tactics rather than actually confronting the actual person. Whenever a lot of researchers claim that whenever they're in Bigfoot territory, they have these things called Bluff Charges, which are known in the natural, nature,
Yeah, like
gorillas. They bluff charge.
Oh, I was gonna say like rams when they like kind of like I don't know how a ram sounds, but they charge.
Wait, so explain to me, what exactly is a fake charge?
So there's this well-known video on the internet where there's this man, and he's just giving a documentary about gorillas.
Uh-huh.
And this gorilla, he starts saying, "Oh, well, look, this guy looks like a challenger. I'm a charge at him."
Uh-huh.
And the gorilla starts charging at him, but man doesn't even flinch, and the gorilla gets close, but he doesn't do anything.
Oh, so it's more like
It's
more
a
of an
tactic.
intimidation.
Like an
Yeah. Sasquatch are more known for their intimidation rather than their actual, I don't want to say naughtiness, but like their malice.
Yeah.
Well, girls are pretty strong, and they do a lot of damage.
But imagine if gorillas discovered body lifting, right?
We'd be dead.
We would be dead. That's the only reason we're on top. Gorillas have not discovered how to like weightlift.
They also don't have guns, Colton.
So far. That's all I'm saying.
I swear, Colton, if you start smuggling weapons to
The gorilla uprising is soon, my friend.
Dude, Dawn the Planet of the Apes is going to be like...
Pick your side.
Based on a not so far future story.
Well, I wouldn't say not so future. I'd say more like 3.5 years from now. Exactly June 13th, 10:30 p.m.
Oh, wow, that's an inside joke that I'm not going to give out. Yeah, no, so a Sasquatch is another, possible culprit. And this one is a little obscure, but I think I've mentioned this topic to you guys before, is the Gugwee.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
The Gugwee.
What is a Gugwee?
Can I explain this one?
You explain Gugwee now.
So you know how Bigfoot is more commonly associated with like gorilla?
Like an ape, yeah.
Yeah, a Gugwee is
Gugwee.
Gugwee?
No, it's Gugwe.
Gugwee. Okay, the
Gugwee.
Gugwee is more.
There's no N.
The Gugwee.
There.
Okay.
Took you a bit.
It's got a gun and it's a Gugwee, okay?
You wouldn't want that at all.
No. It's more associated with like a baboon. And like a mandrill?
Mandarin? Oh, wait, no,
that's an orange. A mandrill.
And I believe that is a nationality. No.
Yes. No.
Wait,
it's
what?
A language.
It's a language.
It's a language.
But it's got more of that like baboon snout.
Snout, like a rounder snout, not more of a like.
Yeah,
because an ape's like face is kind of
more smoother
than
opposed to like the snout of like a monkey or a baboon.
like a baboon. Yeah,
So that's a Gugwee.
Okay.
and they're said to be a lot more aggressive.
Well, no, yeah, because baboons are pretty aggressive.
I would not want to see a baboon in real life, or like be attacked by one, because I feel like I would die like instantly.
Knowing you, probably.
Yeah,
You'd die from fear.
probably. Like I've seen nature documentaries of like baboons and mandrills where they do that thing with their lip where it like covers their
that's
entire
for
face.
intimidation.
Yeah, that's horrifying. Imagine one that's like 8 foot tall doing that to you.
Oh no, man! I would
Just
die.
explode from fear. Just pop, gone.
Yeah, so that's the second one. That kind of, with me, that makes more sense than a Sasquatch. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't. Personally, I don't know of any encounters or reports in that area that would point towards a Gugwee being present.
I mean, the skunk ape, isn't that nearby?
Skunk ape.
Are you kidding me? Dude, that's Florida. Plus, that's
that's like
We're-
4
we're-
states away. Never
Well,
mind.
yeah, we're in Kentucky.
I was thinking like the skunk apes in like North Carolina area. Never mind.
I don't believe they're called skunk apes there.
I know. Skip. Okay, next
Now,
conspiracy theory.
A very popular theory among researchers and connoisseurs like ourselves, suggest is that it was perhaps you hate this word, skinwalker.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
As many of the renditions of artists that draw a Beast of LBL, there's something that's kind of weird about all the reported drawings of these of this thing, and that's they have both human ears and canine ears.
Oh.
I saw like one drawing once, and it was the one you showed me a while back. And that's like the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that up right now for everybody to see.
I'm also gonna look it up.
Oh,
Of
dude,
course.
it's kind of. I like the one I saw was it wasn't. I wouldn't say. Oh, it was kind
It
of
was a
scary.
sketch.
It was a sketch. It was more weird and like eerie than it was kind of scary. Like if I saw that at night, I would be creeped out. But if I saw that during the day, I'd be like, "What is this?"
Yeah, it was reported to have red eyes. Like that makes it even more creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
What?
I misspelled it and it came out with ATV.
How do you get an ATV?
and the
I don't
and
know.
butter.
Yeah, no, but
It's just coming up with butter.
yeah, no. Well, he starts looking that out. Many people claim that it was a skinwalker, but actually, it does make sense since there is a huge native influence by the Native Americans.
Oh, it's that.
Yeah, that's the exact one I saw.
Yeah, that's it.
And like, look at the ears. Like,
Yeah.
And then the canine teeth.
This is gonna sound stupid. It looks like some weird mutated. What is it called? A vampire bat. You know how they kind of look?
Okay, yeah, that does. It does look like a vampire bat.
Let me see it again.
Like look at
Here.
the face. Like it has a bat's nose
Yeah, and
and ears
kind of eyes.
and
as well.
their teeth as well. Their teeth are they definitely have like long fangs. I've seen them.
Yeah, well, it's because they scrape and lick. They bite and then they no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. Like if it was kind of like a bat, like a mutated, really strong, weird bat kind of monstrosity of nature, it would
That's just a straight up furry picture. Oh my god.
it would make a little sense that like it could rip a little girl's arm off and then fly up into a tree and just dangle her from the tree, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently this is the first time, folks, that I hear somebody think that it could possibly be
Like a vampire.
A beast
bat
of nature.
It's definitely a beast.
it's called the Beast of the Land Between the Lakes.
Well, the
So-
beast of the land between the lakes, freak of nature.
Well, can I get back to my point?
Yeah.
Many people assume it's a skinwalker because of that, and not only that, but there are, like I said, a huge native influence in the area. So Native Americans were definitely present in that area, And if I'm remembering correctly, the skinwalker, but alleged reasoning behind it is because back in the old times they had somewhat maybe invaded the area, and as a curse, a shaman put whatever this is on the land, or cursed something that hunted on the land.
Okay.
Another one that it's mainly said is that it was actually just a shaman that shapeshifted into a dog man. And here's a funny thing. So this is what people say, and Native Americans as well. They say that whenever somebody turns into a skinwalker, whenever they take form of another creature, it looks like that creature, but something's off about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like it's always similar, but not 100%.
so that would kind of like, it would kind of go with the sketches with the beast with like the human ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or-
That's logical.
Or like small little things that you wouldn't notice. Another thing that other people say is that when a skinwalker changes, it appears more not emaciated, but it feels more, it looks more dead than it is alive.
Yeah. Zombie dog.
Colton, this is not a zombie dog.
If you saw one, you'd be like, "Oh, that's a zombie dog."
Yes, a 7 to 8 foot
Zombie dog.
Well, I mean, some dogs are that big.
Colton,
Am I wrong?
You're
There's
not-
huge dogs.
I wouldn't go to 7 feet because I don't think I've ever heard of a dog that's 7 feet. Like a 6 foot
Like a
dog.
Great Dane?
Great Dane. They could be like 6 feet, but I 7 feet. That's a
Okay.
stretch, my guy.
I mean, I don't know.
And then having to, I mean, we do it, but supporting all that weight on like canine legs and like their posture, it's kind of funky, don't you think?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on like the breed of dog. It depends how it's like. I don't know. Born.
Overbred dog / beast.
Maybe.
yeah, but when it comes to official ideas, that's where they draw the line. Those are like the 4 main culprits of what this thing is. In your opinions, what do you think is that attack to family?
Ooh, that's a hard thing to say.
Yeah.
I think hearing all of them, I think I would have to say Dogman, just because this kind of fits with the what's the word? I guess the motive.
The stereotype?
Yeah, the stereotype
Yeah.
of one. But I like to imagine that.
Sir, if you say zombie dog.
No, I was gonna say, even if the most plausible one, if you don't believe in any of this, is just some like serial killer who's just fucking like went stab and fucked shit up.
And made it look like a bunch of claw marks? That's like
Well,
way too much time.
Not really. You just go if you have a knife or something. Cause
Well, you bring like a jaw of a dog and just like
you just like crush it into someone's
oh,
arm.
you're right. There are bite marks.
Yeah, there's
Never
bite
mind.
marks, yeah.
I completely forgot about the bite marks. Well then, I don't know. Dogman makes the most sense, I would think.
Yeah, because canine, dog
Yeah.
man,
Dog,
I mean, and they've also been witnessed in the area. And now here's the good part.
Here's the kicker.
Here's the good kicker. I love this kicker. It's here's the fun part. There were sightings before and after.
In like the same area?
Yes.
Ooh.
See, now it's starting to make a little more sense on why it would be a dogman. Because, dogman,
Like the puzzles.
like, reported really strong legs. They can catch up to cars and stuff. It totally could definitely kick in a door if they wanted to.
That's to say if they used the door, not their shoulder.
It threw a deer at the door.
It's like, here, take this.
Deer, come here, I need you.
Now,
like a baseball.
Now we know the origin story of Bambi.
That's what happened to his mom. He got thrown into a camper.
She didn't get shot. She just got thrown.
Oh yeah, I know, but so wait, what were we about to get into?
Dogman sightings in and around the area.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where some things come into play. So after it all happened, sorry. Okay, it's just popped into mind. This is what I hate about memory. Sometimes things just come and they just go.
Yeah.
Like all things. So you're probably wondering, what happened to the family after the whole, they found him and everything.
Yeah.
So it was allegedly reported that the family was taken, and this actually came from Jody Cook, the leader / founder of the NADP, the North American Dogman Project.
Whoa.
He's like one of the head honchos there. Reports came into him saying that after it all had happened, the family was then placed into a fake car accident. That their bodies were put into a car, and they were made into a fake car accident.
So a cover up, pretty
Basically,
much.
yeah.
But why?
This way, see, that's what we don't know.
Did they ever find who they were, or is it like an unidentified family?
Like Jane
It's
John Doe's?
still unidentified.
Or maybe they were like, just wasn't released to the public?
Yes, most likely it wasn't released to the public, and the extended family that was related to the family that died, we were probably told it was just an accident, and that the what had occurred, the so-called accident, the injuries were way too severe to have an open casket funeral.
Okay.
So that's what I think probably happened. That they were told you can't do an open casket because it's really bad.
Man, that must suck. Like, you hear your family's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go camping, right? And then like a few days later, like the cops knock at your door. Yeah, your whole family's dead. They're like dead, really dead. They got in a car accident and they're severely like damaged. So no open casket for you. And you're just like, I gotta deal with that now. Like, it's kind of yeesh.
At least, I mean, at least they were able to be buried instead of just like, oh, we couldn't find any bodies. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but that's what they say happened afterwards. How they clarified the whole situation with the family.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to throw that out there because I kind of left it like unanswered. What happened to the family afterwards? So going on to the second part of this is the other encounters that had occurred in the area. One very well known encounter. I guess that's a lack of words. Encounter that occurred there is regarding a bowman.
What?
A bowman?
Like a guy
a hunter
with a bow?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, okay.
Apparently, there was a bowman that had gone missing in the land between the lakes area, and he was later found. Well, not him, but his remains were later found with his. Now this is going off memory, but his bow was snapped in half.
Snap. So, this area sounds a lot more like Land Between the Life. You go there, you die. You have a 50-50 chance of dying.
Land Between the Life?
I don't know.
Jesus.
New movie idea? Documentary
No. No. Have respect, Colton. This could have been somebody who died.
This sounds like a lot of people who died. 4 people at least so far.
I mean, I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna say it's a good idea, but like that would kind of make a good movie.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't say you don't agree.
Listen here, it's not that I don't agree. It's just it wouldn't make it past production.
Okay, yeah, because if you're talking about the whole government covering this up, then
the government's gonna cover up the movie.
Yeah,
my guy, they're just gonna be like, burn the tape.
Yeah, that's
jokes from them. It's on the cloud. Can't take that down.
Yeah, no, but the that's where was I? Right, the Bowman. So that's what happened with the Bowman. rumors started to spread that that the bowman had died because of hyperthermia or some natural cause, and the reason why his remains were scattered about is because of random animals coming in.
Yeah. Hypothermia.
Hypothermia.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Yeah.
You know, he died from being cold and his body just exploded all over the part, you know?
A bunch of raccoons got into him and they like split his body 6 different
They
ways.
burst out of him like chest bursters, you know?
Oh,
Raccoons
God.
love to do that.
Yeah,
Cheeky
some
little bugger.
some raccoon laid eggs in his stomach.
Oh, raccoon eggs.
They don't have eggs.
As far as you know.
It's a joke.
You ever seen a baby raccoon? I didn't think so.
I have.
That's a plan. It's a government plan.
Okay, well, before we got into raccoons, for some unknown reason. Oh, right, no, I remember what we were talking about. So that's one of the occurrences that, quote unquote, happened at the park. Another well-known one is a man on a kayak was kayaking down the river. And he, not down the river, sorry, on the lake. He was kayaking on the lake. Sorry about that. And he was,
Sorry.
And he was paddling on, and he saw this couple, right? This unrelated to the people who found the bodies.
Different couple.
Different couple.
Okay.
That's a lot of couples.
Okay.
Are you done?
I'm waiting for you to say something.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore that happened.
Between the divorce.
Say that into the mic so everybody can hear you.
The land between the divorce.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Anyway, he was witnessing this couple set up their camping site when he started to see movement in the trees. And he started to, like, oh shoot, something's walking towards him. He starts waving his hands like, hey, somebody's trying to come over to your place. Like, the couple's like, what's this guy's?
You just wave back to him.
Just smile and wave.
Hi, how you doing?
It was said that the couple was like confused as to why he was trying to get their attention, and before they could react to it, this canine-looking upright thing attacked them.
The dog man started waving to him. Yeah, I'm gonna get him. Don't worry.
And it was said that this couple was, lack of better terms, ripped apart in front of the guy on his kayak.
Traumatizing.
Oof.
And when he started to report it to the forestry, they wouldn't have any of it.
I don't believe you.
Where's the evidence?
Well, there's no lake here. Get out of here.
There's no evidence. Start sweeping with a sweep.
He comes in with like a bloody napkin. That's not. What are they called?
A poncho?
Yeah, bloody punch. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, hold on, I got something on my face.
Sorry, I was hunting deer.
I was
This is totally deer guts. Nothing to worry about.
I was sweeping.
Sweeping.
I gotta go. Don't worry about it.
You can see John on your way out. No, but
Just a skeleton.
Here lies previous victim. Yeah, no, but that's what was that was another thing that had happened that had occurred. So far, what do you guys think?
I mean, it sounds like a dog man.
Yeah, dog man. That's like the only thing that's like popping out at me right
Goddamn
now.
nature's assholes.
I mean, he's not wrong.
One day you're just, kayaking, the next you're seeing a dog man rip people apart. That's just Kentucky, baby.
Man, that dude probably never goes kayaking anymore. He probably sees this kayak and he's like, I saw 2 people getting ripped apart.
He lives on the kayak now. He's afraid to go back on land.
He lives on the lake.
Now, as much as you guys are laughing about it now, there are reports of dogmen swimming.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
So
you know what's funny?
He wouldn't be safe.
What would have been funny is like he got like Jason Voorhees. He would have just been on the kayak and then out of nowhere, dog man hand comes from out of nowhere and just takes him under.
Yuck.
That would no man.
That would suck.
I would not want to live on this earth anymore, my guy. I'd move to Mars or something.
Well, you wouldn't live anymore. You would be dead at the hands of a dog man.
Now,
I guess. I don't know.
There's another thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is that on this, for some reason, which is I have a logical reason for this, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Apparently, there are bunkers in the Land Between the Lakes National Forest.
What kind of bunkers?
Like silo
Military cell bunkers that are in the most remote areas of the park.
But, like, wouldn't those bunkers just carry supplies and stuff?
You would assume they are completely empty,
Uh-huh.
and there are no entrances out, only going in.
But wouldn't those count as going out? If you can go in, you can go out the same way, right?
Not if you're locked inside of a room, Colton.
Oh, you have a point. Well, I don't know. The way I was thinking that's like a ladder going down. Just climb back up the ladder.
And it's
Maybe it was a slide.
it's theorized that
Wow.
What is
Can
your
you-
theory?
can you-
Or
can
what
you-
is the theory?
can you believe these guys?
Imagine getting kidnapped by government agents, pushed into a slide into a jail cell. You're never coming in. You can't go up the slide. It's like McDonald's play styles. Don't go up the slide. And you're like, all right, well.
Just
Okay, I'm gonna rope us back into the cryptozoology field.
Okay.
There, I roped us back in. It's theorized that these bunkers were constructed by the army to contain or destroy whatever was in those woods.
Cool. Did they do it?
Doesn't seem like it. If they did, you wouldn't be hearing this story.
You have a point.
Or my
No,
bad.
it got leaked because like one waitress heard it.
Now, there is
Fair.
Personally, I believe that you two are familiar. Of course, you are, Colton. I know you won't shut up about him. The Mothman.
Yes.
And,
Best guy ever.
and how they're also in West Virginia. There are bunkers much like that were found at LBL, and those bunkers in particular were made to house TNT and other types of explosives.
Yeah.
Now, my theory is perhaps that's what the bunkers that are found at LBL were used for, and they just moved out all the explosives out of the area, which to me seems a lot more likely than trying to capture and contain whatever was in those woods.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're mostly used for storage. So
That makes the most sense.
It would make sense that you'd use this storage to move some other place.
Because why would?
And then once you have no use for them, like what else are you gonna keep in
'Cause
there?
that would-
Nothing.
If you're using the bunker as like an extermination area, that means you have to find the creature, don't kill it, put it into the area, and then kill it, which seems like a lot more hassle than just like exterminate on site.
Yeah. Now, so yeah, that's I'm gonna go back a little bit in time.
Ooh,
Now-
bad time travel.
So we're gonna go back to the Native American, the Native American folklore on the Beast of LBL. So apparently it was about a man. The legend supposedly speaks of a man who left Europe in the late 1800s to settle inside of the Land Between the Lakes. This man was then supposedly, or quote unquote, supposedly, he had a disease in him, and it caused him to go mad after nightfall. So basically, this is getting into the whole werewolf type thing,
Yeah.
as you can see. And then after that, this disease was turned into genetic, was made into a genetic. It turned to a genetic disease.
Maybe it was already genetic.
Perhaps
Maybe his parents were crazy.
Yeah.
And because they have the disease, they never got integrated with society, and they always
They just stayed by themselves.
Yeah, they just kept to themselves most of the time, so they never went to school or had the desire to go outside of their own family lives. But after a while, many of the Native Americans believed that the family had died off until there was a abandoned homestead inside of the land between the lakes that was found in the early 1900s.
Oh, very interesting.
Now, very interesting, because there is another. Hold your boats.
I'm holding them.
We're not on boats.
Well, yeah, because we're holding them.
It's the so there is this other legend associated with the LBL called, you guys might know this from a song, Hotel California.
Yeah.
By the Eagles, right?
And we just got copyrighted just by saying their name. Thank
My
you.
bad.
Anyway, it was said to be a family of vampires that lured people into the hotel and killed them. Well, that's as much as it goes.
Cool.
There's nothing really to back that up, so.
Other than the
We don't
obvious vampire signs.
Vampire, yeah. Yeah, what's so vampire-y about, like, a hotel in the middle of the woods,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what the legend states.
The fact that no one ever comes out. Once you check in, you're here forever. It's like Olive Garden. Once
We
you're
have
here,
free
you're here.
coffee.
Yeah.
Now, there's another one that's more spiritual in nature. This is of so there's a tribe called the Shawnee in that area, and it's said that a Shawnee shaman was killed in his wolf form for abusing his powers, basically, and his spirit lingers in the woods looking for revenge.
Oof.
As
So
the
that's-
wolf?
Yeah, so as this wolf-man hybrid.
Very interesting.
And that brings more of a spiritual quality towards this whole idea of and the whole physical thing we've been talking about.
I mean, that kind of makes sense since, as far as you know, there were no footprints around. And we all know ghosts don't leave footprints. Probably.
So, of course, there were, as the the expansion happened, there were unnatural howls heard at night, but they couldn't pinpoint towards any animal. There were lots of mutilated carcasses with their throats ripped open, and other
A little
gruesome ways.
Very, very bad.
And the rangers, some park rangers and herd managers would find missing cattle in the surrounding areas. That's kind of weird, don't you think?
Yeah.
But I mean, it kind of ties in with the whole thing. But that's as far as I go with the background history on the beast itself.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no, but there are a lot of former encounters with this thing, and some people even go back to the campsite today, trying to find whatever is there, to see if it's still there. And every once in a while, there is a conference down at Land Between the Lakes. And funny thing is, whenever you go to the gift shop area, or you run into a ranger or a forestry official, and you start asking about this, they immediately shut you off.
Huh.
They don't get thought into like, oh, it's just a myth, or they don't give you the time of day if you mentioned it. There was one account also by Jody Cook. This happened to him himself. He was researching the area himself. He started asking this woman at the gift shop, this ranger that worked there, and he started asking her about the Beast of LBL. And beforehand, they had been they had been really nice with each other. They'd been amicable. They could consider themselves friends at that point.
Yeah.
At the point he mentioned the Beast of LBL, she completely shut up and turned around and started walking away from him.
Oof.
Wow.
And the day afterwards, he ran into her at another location, and I don't remember where it was, but he said that she immediately walked up to him and apologized about what she did, and she said, "We can't talk about that here."
So it kind of sounds like they're like under some sort of like surveillance kind of thing. Like, hey, don't talk to anyone about this, and if someone like confronts you about it, like you just walk away in the other direction. You can't talk about it in public or anywhere. Or we'll be watching you. You know.
I mean, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because the Beast of LBL is associated with these gruesome murders, right? And I would imagine that no one would want their tourist attraction to be associated with that, no matter how much it brings.
It already is.
I know, but they want to try. I would imagine they would want to stop that. Like, hey,
oh yeah,
we don't want to be associated with this anymore. Just stop talking about it.
I mean, I can see that. And another thing that I just remembered, besides the account from Jan Thompson, there was also a deathbed confessional from reportedly one of the responding officers.
And what exactly did they say?
So everything that people were hearing from Jan Thompson herself was exactly what that deathbed officer said. What that officer said at his deathbed.
Interesting.
Which kind of, I mean, why would you die with, telling a lie that you have nothing to gain from?
Yeah.
To me, it makes no sense unless you're really...
Unless it's funny. Unless you're doing it for a bit.
Imagine... Okay, with all respect to perhaps maybe anybody who died during this, imagine if that was just a bit. If this was just a bit,
like a big inside joke.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Inside of a forestry service.
If I was gonna die, and I was gonna be like a little like asshole about it, I'd be like, the treasure is located, and then just die, and just fuck the whole family. Like, where's the treasure? What treasure is he talking about? And just have them like ruin their life trying to find it. That'd be a funny bit.
That'd be hilarious.
It would be. I'm laughing in the afterlife, like dumbasses.
Believe me.
As I get stabbed with pitchforks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, but it's this topic itself is very scrutinized in the whole area.
Yeah.
Not just inside of the forestry, but the surrounding areas as well. It's weird.
Is there? You said gift shops. Is there any like I don't know like shops that sell merchandise about the Beast?
No.
No? Okay.
That's one point that many people have argued that. So you know how the Mothman is like a huge attraction for West Point, West Virginia.
Yeah, they got like statues of
right.
They got a whole statue of them.
They have like figurines. They have like any bit of memorabilia. Colton, I know you're gonna go. I know you're gonna go exactly to West Point, Virginia, just so you can get yourself a Mothman figurine.
Bro, dude, I want to get a Mothman hoodie. That'd be so cool.
Dude, if you go,
plushie.
If you go, get me a figurine, dude. I would collect that, dude. That would be sick.
No, but
comes to life and runs into your lamp.
Oh heck yeah.
Jokes aside, if they wanted to make money off of this, they would make it similar to that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another state park in the United States that they have a legend about Bigfoot, and every once in a while they have a ranger go out there, in a Bigfoot suit, and like go next to a campsite, a family campsite.
I would love to be that
just
man.
Start breaking their windshields. Yeah, I'm Bigfoot. Crunch by brunch. Sorry, Bigfoot does things and he just fucking runs off.
just is that Bigfoot? Ooh, and you just start running away.
Throws a rock at you. Yeah, that's scary. We can't stop him. He's been running around for 2 weeks in that Bigfoot costume. I think he's gone tribal. He's
one with the Bigfoot.
Does what he does.
Got possessed by Bigfoot.
Yeah, no, that's but you would assume something like that would happen,
Yeah, some sort of merchandise.
Yeah. If they really wanted to, yeah, they would capitalize on it. But like, since they don't want anyone to mention it or anything like that, like I feel like they know exactly what's going on.
I feel like that's the weirdest part about this whole story. It's just them shushing it up.
This never happened.
No T-shirt. Like I went to LOB and all I got was this shirt and a couple scratch marks, something like that.
I want to wear an LBL like t-shirt like with like the beast on it and just go there and just see what happens. Like would I get kicked out?
Just get ripped apart.
Actually, fun fact, they do kick out. I don't know if I'm remembering this right, but I'm pretty sure I am. They have like, so everybody who's affiliated with the NADP, the association that Jody Cook made, they have him listed on a database and they don't allow him into the park.
Damn.
Wow.
They got that facial recognition.
No, not like that, but like if the name correlates, like no, you can't go inside the park.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Now that to me is kind of weird. I mean, I could see how that isn't kind of wrong, but at the same time, I can see why that's wrong.
Yeah, I'm
like,
okay. But
if you got a bunch of people harassing your park rangers,
yeah, you like okay, get out.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense. Yeah,
you guys are fucking with their stuff. We don't want you here.
Yeah, but to have a
list of like everyone, that's a little like
It's a little. I don't want to say it because you guys are gonna get mad at me. It's a little sus.
Yeah, you said the word. You said the funny buzzword.
Buzzer time.
Bzzzt.
Yeah,
Still with bees.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of strange to me.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
That whole shush up, the strangest part. I said that already.
Yeah, no, it's because it is. It's
right?
So weird.
We're trying to cover this up, and it's.
And it kind of gives it like more like this really did happen instead of like, oh yeah, this is all just a little funny joke. Like, I wouldn't say Mothman's thing is a joke, but like, hey, Mothman statue. And like over here it's like the beast. Oh, you get kicked out of your park.
Yeah.
Here, go away. What's your name? Okay, yeah, you're never coming back.
What's your name, sir? Hugh what? Humongous. And you just get like attacked instantly.
Yeah, no, and
Send out the beast.
and even park
Slow chihuahua.
and even park officials themselves, they're harassed
Oof.
to keep it on the shush.
Man, if I worked there and I was like one of the rangers and someone came up to me like, hey, where's the beast? Where's the beast? What happened with the beast? Like, that would suck.
Yeah.
Personally, out of spite, I would send them to the exact location where it was last
Aw,
seen.
you would lose your job.
I would lose my job, but I'd be like, okay.
It's worth it.
Did you see the look on their faces? I put cameras and everything.
Oh, you guys got beast.
Yeah, I put it on the
the
deep web.
Oh, God. This is where they were last seen. I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't joke about that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, by putting ourselves underneath the paranormal / cryptid, subject on YouTube, we're probably already being watched. By we, I mean probably me, since I'm one who uses the account most.
Yeah. Wait, guys, we just got something in the mail. It's like plane tickets to Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
Very interesting.
Oh,
I think we
We
should
got
go.
free passes to the national park.
Wow.
Wow.
They're a little ripped, though.
Is this our name on a letter from the Rangers itself saying you guys can only come once and once only?
Wow, it's a little torn on the edges.
Oh, we're missing now. Great.
No.
Yeah, if we don't post, you know what happened to us.
If we ever went to Kentucky.
Maybe we're already there.
Maybe it never happened.
Maybe we never existed.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
End the podcast. Let's cut it off there.
No.
Okay.
If that was a good bit, you should have saved that. But after all the information I've given you, what do you guys think about this whole situation?
It was definitely did happen. Definitely,
In your
1,000%. In my opinion, 1,000% it happened.
Yes, I'm more inclined to believe this event happened rather than like other ones.
Like a little
just because of how like shush, don't talk, shush, quiet, like the whole like area is.
What he said.
Yeah.
Personally, I totally agree with you guys. I think something happened in those woods, and we're trying to cover up what happened. And another thing I wanted to quickly bring up, because I know I bring up a lot of things.
It's fine. You're the host. You're supposed to.
I know I'm supposed to just shut up.
Okay.
So you know how you can request. So this is a thing that you can request information from the government, and it's the Freedom Act.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's called the Freedom Act.
That's how a guy actually got like the blueprints and like what was it? Area 51. That's how like it was proven to be real. Some dude did that, and they were like, "Oh shoot, guess we gotta give him the information."
So you know how since that you know how it works.
Yeah.
They submitted the same thing for the Beast of LBL, and what occurred there? They never got a confirmation or
A deconfirmation.
Deconfirmation.
That's a word. I don't know.
Or like declassification.
Yeah, they never declassified anything about that.
Okay.
When you're supposed to, because it's Freedom Act.
It's Freedom Act.
You need to, because of American law. You need to. They never gave up any information.
Like the government hides a lot from us that we don't know about, and I feel like that would be one thing that they were like, hey, you tell anyone, you're dead. You park ranger, you tell anyone, we're gonna shoot you.
And that's very much what happens in cases revolving police officers or any other state official. If a police officer has an encounter with either a dogman or any cryptid for that matter, they're always like, you saw nothing. What you saw was a bear. We're gonna write it in this report that you saw a bear. We're gonna publish that online. But on this report, you're gonna tell me exactly what you saw, and we're gonna send it off to the database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes the most sense.
It does. It does.
Indeed.
Oh man, when I become a cop, I'm gonna be like working from the inside or something. I'm gonna like look through all this stuff.
You better.
Well, it's on tape now. So.
Oh no.
It's a bit.
It's
wink.
For legal reasons. This is a joke.
Asterisks. No, but if so, that's our final thoughts on this whole thing. If any of you have any information regarding the Beast of LBL, or if you want to correct us on any of our, if maybe I got something wrong, because remember, human brains are very faulty sometimes, and maybe I got something wrong along the lines.
Like Colton's brain.
Yeah, my brain's very faulty.
It's
It's called a fault line.
Okay, San Andreas. If you have any information regarding this or any other types, whether you've had an encounter yourself or or somebody you know, please direct them to our email at cryptidparanormalcommittee at gmail.com or visit our Instagram page, Cryptid Paranormal Committee. Now, as much as you guys are going to hate me, I also started a TikTok. So, Cryptid Paranormal Committee TikTok.
Bigfoot's going to be
Fortnite. We're called the CPC podcast on there. So, that's... I was your host, Charlie.
I was your co-host, Colton.
And I'm your co-host, Diego.
And thank you for listening, paranormal peeps. Shut up.